This is another video sponsored by Casio Malaysia. So in this video, I will teach you how to use the new Casio 570EX to solve the topic related to the indices, log and surd. Let's begin with the indices. So whenever you see the question like this, it consider quite complicated type of indices questions. So yeah, so I will solve a manually first for this kind of question, and then I will teach you how to use the calculator to solve it as well. So if you have the equation like this, 2 power of 5x minus 1 equals to 2 power of 5x minus 32. The first thing is you have to know like if 2 power of 5x minus 1 means 2 power of 5x over 2 power of 1, because minus at the power here basically mean divide 2 power of 1. Alright, then we have the 2 power of 5x here minus 32, but this minus is not at a power, so basically you just write minus 32, just follow. You can't do anything for the minus, is not at a power. Alright, then normally I will prefer substitution method. I will just let the 2 power of 5x equals to the m. Then the whole question becomes so easy now. So m over 2 equals to m minus 32. Alright, then I will just swap place, solve this equation. So I will have the 32 here. So 32 equals to m minus m over 2. So if m minus m over 2, just like 1 minus 1 over 2 is the same thing, then you get m over 2 equals to 32. Then you should know m equals to 64. But you shouldn't stop here, isn't it? Because we are not finding m. In order to solve this kind of question, we kind of need to find x. What is my m? My m is 2 power of 5x, right? So I can say 2 power of 5x equals to 64. So 2 power of 5x, 64 basically is 2 power of 6. Alright, so you can just try using the calculator to type 2 power of 6. See, this 64? Yes, it is 64. So I know 2 power of 6 is equals to 64. Alright, then I will continue. Whenever you have the same base here, we can just ignore the base, and then we would know that 5x equals to 6. Then x equals to 6 divided by 5. Then x equals to 1.2. Alright, so or you can just type the calculator, 6 divided by 5, you should get 1.2 here. Okay, but what I want to show you is, yeah, for some of the indices question, you can actually type the whole equation into the calculator, and then the calculator will tell you the answer. So let's try it out. So we have 2 power of 5x minus 1. And then the equal sign, we will use alpha calculus. So, and then this is 2 power of 5x. And then I will press the next button, minus 32. Alright, then you cannot type this equal, or else you will get math error. So in order to ask the calculator to solve it, you will do shift solve. And then you will key in some number here. Normally I will just use positive 100 and negative 100 to test it out. But since I know only one answer, then this answer is positive. Then I just try positive 100. And then I will type equal. Then the calculator will tell me the answer for x is 1.2. Alright, like what I say at the beginnings, not all the equation you can straight away type in the calculator. There's some condition in order to use this calculator to solve the indices for you. The first condition here is they must be the same power. And then the second condition here is must be the same base. Okay, what do I mean like this? If today this is 2 power of 5x, and then this one is 4 power of 5x, you realize they have the different base, right? If like 2 power of 5x equals to something like 4 power of 5x, example, minus 10, example. So the calculator cannot solve the equation like this for you because you don't have the same base. So basically you need to change the 4 into the 2 power of 2. Then this is 2 power of 10x. Then you kind of need to solve manually, because 2 power of 10x, then you have the different power. The calculator cannot solve for you as well. So yeah, but for the simple indices question, you can actually use the calculator. The calculator will actually solve it for you. Alright, then we will discuss about log. So when talk about log, this calculator actually have a dedicated button for log. I like about this button is because you can insert whatever base you want. So you can say, okay, I want to do the base 2. And then the number here, I can insert any number I want. Let's say I want 32. Then the calculator will calculate what's this log 232, which is the 5. They will tell you, oh, the answer is 5. So yeah, the good thing is you can insert the base and number by yourself. So okay, so and then I also want to talk about the shift log button here. So you see about shift log, it is 10 power of something, but when are you going to use this? It's something like this. If today you have log base 10, x equals to 2, and you want to move the log base 10 to the other side, then you can do something like shift log, so which is the 10 power of 2. Alright, so then you just type a 2 here, then you will get 100. Alright, so shift log can only use when you have the base 10, or we call it at the common log, because sometimes in some textbook they will tell you, okay, log y equals to 1.5 and ask you find what is the y value. So you kind of need to understand, okay, if log, or we call it common log, move to the other side, it's basically is a shift log and then press 1.5, and then the calculator will tell you, okay, then the value will be 31.62 if you leave in 2 decimal place. Alright, this is how to use it. But however, if you have the log base something like 3x equals to 2, yeah, you cannot use the shift log button here, yeah, or else you will get the different answer. So therefore, this calculation you kind of need to solve it manually and change it into something like 3 power of 2. Alright, then you will get x equals to 9, but you can't straight away use this calculator. And when talk about log, if you go to the higher level, you will use ln. So the ln over here, we call it ln, basically stand for the log base e. Alright, so therefore if I do something like ln exponent, let's say I type exponent e power of 3 here, then the calculator will tell me it's a 3 here. Okay, so yeah, so ln basically means log base e. Yeah, if I have chance in the future, I will explain more about that. So therefore, you also have shift ln, means shift ln. Basically is same example like just now. So let's say you have ln x equals to 2. Then x will equals to, you want to find this, you move the ln to the other side, right? Then you just type shift ln. So you realize it's e, right? So you will get 2 here. Then the calculator will tell you, okay, it's e2 or 7.389. Right, and why the calculator will tell you e? So if you understand the log, something like log ab equals to c, then b is equals to a power of c, right? This is the law of log. So if you have ln x equals to 2, and ln, like what I say, is basically log base ex equals to 2, then therefore x will equals to e power of 2. So it makes sense. This is the reason why the calculator actually tell you e power of 2 here. So over here you have 2 button is basically dedicated for log, but in SPM you only use this button. Unless you go to STPM, you will use ln, or you go to if you're IGCSE student, you will use ln as well. So I just want to let you know like how to use these 2 button with the shift log and shift ln. You will get a different value for it. Alright, then we come back to this question. So okay, this question actually is quite hard to solve, but if you have the calculator like this, you can just straight away insert the whole thing into the calculator and to get the answer. So let's try by using the calculator. I just need to type 3 power of negative 2. Normally I use this negative rather than minus. Negative 2, and then here I will straight away do log base 3 5. Then the calculator will tell me is 1 over 25. Of course, in the exam, you just write 1 over 25. I don't think you will get any mark here. So how to solve the question like this? So normally what I will do is, I will do a let. Okay, so I will just let 3 power of negative 2 log base 3 5 will equals to my x here. Right, because of the law just now, I said log I said log AB equals to C, B will equals to A power of C, right? You can realize my A here basically moved there and it become the number A here. And this C, you just imagine it will fly to the sky and become the power here. So it's 5 power of C. So right now, what I want to do is I want to do the other way. Mean I will from step 2 go back to the step 1. Okay, so you see what happened is if I throw my A back to the other side, this A will become a log base A. And then the C will from the sky here drop down to become the number. So this is what happened. So this 3, if I move to the other side, is basically it will become the log base 3x. Alright, the power on the sky actually will drop down, become the normal number. Minus 2 log 3, 5. Alright, then I will move the power to the top here, become log 3, 5 power of negative 2. Why I want to do that? Because I want to simplify the log 3 here. Alright, then log 3 and log 3 I cut. Then x will equals to 5 power of negative 2. Alright, so over here you can just type 5 power of negative 2, you will get 1 over 25. Yeah, you can just type 5 power of negative 2. The calculator will tell you is 1 over 25. Or you want to solve it manually. This is the good thing about the calculator. The calculator, if I get 1 over 25, sometimes if I want to solve manually, I will refer to the answer. Because 1 over 25 tell me what? It tell me this is 1 over 5 square. And I have 5 power of negative 2. So I kind of understand the negative basically means 1 over. So over here, I will just write 1 over 25, which is the answer we get from the very beginning just now. We're actually getting the answer 1 over 25. Alright, so this is how we use the calculator to solve log. Alright, then we will have a look on the third question. So in the exam, you might see something like this, like ask you to simplify the fraction like this, which have involve a loss of a different third value here. The good thing about having this calculator, you can just type everything into the calculator and then you will straight away get the final answer. But then that one is just for you to check your answer is correct or wrong, because definitely in the exam you need to show the working. But let's see how easy we're using the calculator to get the answer. So normally when I want to type so many cert, I will just type the fraction button first, and then I will just insert all the numbers cert2 plus cert5 over cert8 plus cert20 minus cert32. You will realize after I type all the cert, I will press the next button so that the square root sign will not continue, minus cert80. Then the calculator will tell you, okay, the answer will be, so you have the answer. The answer is basically negative 1 over 2. Alright, but when you do manually, it's actually much more harder than this. But even you do manually, you can still fully utilize this calculator, because this calculator can leave your answer in the cert form. Alright, so example, if you type square root 8 here, or cert 8, the calculator will tell you it's 2 cert 2. So therefore, you need to change all the cert at the denominator here into the cert 2 and cert 5. Then only you can solve it. Definitely, if you do manually, it's a lot harder. But I will want to explain about how you actually get 2 cert 2 here. Okay, because in order to solve the cert, you need to very familiar with a perfect square number. So like cert 8 over here, what is the perfect square number for? It's a factor of 8, which is 4, right? Because 8 can be divided by 4. So this is 4 multiply 2. So square root rule tells us that if this is multiply, I can say this is square root 4 multiply square root 2. So square root 4, which is 2. Square root 2, which is square root 2. So square root 8, you can change it into the 2 cert 2, which is 2 cert 2. So if you do manually for square root 20, or we call it cert 20, so you need to find a perfect square number which is a factor for 20. So I know 20 can divide by 4 as well. So therefore, I will say it's 4 multiply 5. And what is square root 4? Square root 4 give you 2, right? And square root 5 you cannot simplify, you just leave as 2 sub 5. So let's see from the calculator. Sub 20 is 2 sub 5. Okay, let's have a look on the square root 32 here. So from the 32 here, same thing can divide by 4, right? So it's 4 multiply a. But if you do like this, you kind of need to do again, because what? Because you have square root 4, which is 2, but square root a will give you 2 sub 2. Then you kind of need to multiply. Yeah, you can do that also. 2 multiply 2 sub 2, which is 4 sub 2. Or, because the perfect square number is not only 4, right? Because I know 32 can divide by 16, and 16 is the perfect square number. So I will prefer use 16 times 2. Then over here, square root 16 is 4. Then sub 2 is just square root 2. So let's have a look on the calculator. Square root 32, which is 4 sub 2. The last one, let's say we have the something like sub 80. So for 80 here, I know 80 can divide it by 16, isn't it? Because 80 basically is 16 multiplied 5. If you type 16 multiplied 5, you get 80. Because 16 is a perfect square number, right? So 16 actually will give it 4. Because square root 16 is 4 sub 5. So let's have a look on a calculator. Square root 80 is 4 sub 5. Because if you are using the old model like 570MS, so you cannot leave your answer in the third form, then you have no choice but do it manually here. Alright, so let's finish this question. So therefore, top I will just copy. I will not do anything. So this is square root 2 or sub 2 plus sub 5 over. This one I got it just now, 2 sub 2. And this one will be plus 2 sub 5. And sub 32 will be 4 sub 2. And sub 80 will be 4 sub 5. So you just imagine like sub 2 is like A, sub 5 is B. So A can only plus or minus with A, B can only plus or minus with B. So this one, I will just copy. So the bottom, I will do the something like 2A minus 4A, so you get negative 2A. Alright, solve this one. This is something like 2B minus 4B, so you get minus 2B. Alright, then the next step is we need to do is rationalize. So which is normally if denominator have both minus, I will just factorize out the negative. So this one will become plus. Alright, so okay, so in order to do a rationalize, so if you learn about subtopic, this A plus B, we will do A minus B. So A minus B. Okay, why I want to do A plus B, A minus B? Because I want to make sure my denominator do not have the sub there. So I will just multiply the same thing for numerator as well. So from here, okay, the minus you can put at the middle, or you want to put on top also, never mind. So I will just leave it here first. So this one, I put a bracket for it, sub 2 plus sub 5. Actually, I can straight away multiply it. I can save me some time. Yeah, you can do manually like what I do, or you can straight away use the calculator, because the calculator will do the work for you. So something like sub 2 plus, put the next button, plus sub 5, next button, and then multiply 2 sub 2 minus 2 sub 5. Then the calculator should be able to tell you it's negative 6. Then you will do negative 6. But I would recommend you to do some working. Use the calculator for checking, is always better. So if I do manually, this is what I would do. Sub 2 multiply 2 sub 2. Just imagine sub 2 times sub 2 will give you 2 times 2, which is 4 here. Then I will do the sub 2 multiply the second one. This one will be more complicated a little bit. So because you need to understand sub 2 multiply sub 5 will give you sub 10. So it's 2 sub 10. Alright, then I will do the sub 5 multiply this one is minus 2 sub, it's a plus 2 sub 10. And then cert5 times cert5 is 5. And then multiply -2 is -10. Alright, so this one and this one cancel. And then 4 minus 10, this is the reason why the calculator will tell you is -6. Alright, so same idea for denominator. You can ignore the negative because I already bring it on the top. So then, because if you do the a plus b multiply a minus b, we know the result is a squared minus b squared, isn't it? So I'm not going to do one by one. I will straight away do a squared means 2 square, which is 4, and cert2 square, which is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Of course, you can use the calculator like this: 2 cert2, and then close the bracket, and then you tell square, and then the calculator should be able to tell you it's 8 as well. Alright, a squared minus b squared. B squared basically is 2 cert5, the square, the whole thing. This is 2 square is 4. Cert5 square is 5. 4 times 5 is 20. Right, then you can do the same thing here as well. Change the 2 into the 5 here, and then you still will get the 20 here. So just now, the top we actually get -6 times negative is +6. Bottom here, denominator is -12. So then at the end, we get -1/2. Yeah, the calculator already calculate it out like at the very beginning, which is -1/2. So when I do until the end, I would just want to make sure my answer is same with the calculator answer. So this is a good thing to have a good calculator in your exam. You can always use the calculator to check your working, and even help you to do the complicated multiplication if you are not so good in the cert.
So if you are interested to buy this calculator, I will share the Lazada link at my description below. The link will bring you to the Casio Flagship store, because right now, the Casio Malaysia are doing the promotion. Whoever buy this calculator from them, they will actually free you a Casio L file. I believe this file is waterproof. So this is how you insert the paper into the L file. I believe you know what is L file. And at the same time, if you insert the promotion code, which is my name, I will share at the description below as well. They will give you another 5 ringgit discount for the calculator. Yeah, I guess that's all for this video. Yeah, if you have any question, please post at the comment below, or else I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.